It's a little haphazard in here. We've had a Hillsborough move, and Ethio can tell you all about it if you want to know more. She's experienced it firsthand. It's been a little chaotic, but we're getting there. So apologize. It's better. This room at least is functional. So we're family tight this morning. Me and Jason set this like this because we've got stuff that's going to a storage unit. And anyways, we're in process of getting Alice's new office set up here soon. So watch for more to come on that. We do have a new space that we're working on, and it's going to take a little while to get it upfitted and stuff like that. But it's going to be really visible spot in Hillsborough, and definitely a spot I think where people will stop in and we can get traffic, and we'll be much more visible in Hillsborough. So more stuff to come on that. Thank you all for being here today. I'm going to jump in and get started like we always do to go over our mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective. Our mission is build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. That's what we're all about at KW. Our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for customers and their clients. Our belief system or our values is God first, family, and then business. And our beliefs. Anybody know this that hasn't done it yet? Anybody know all of them? Nobody? Quiet bunch today? All right, I'm going to go through it with you then. So for next time, you can practice. It's win-win or no deal. Integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. And our perspective is to be a training, coaching, consulting, and technology company, creating the culture and community where entrepreneurs thrive. And that's what we're all about. Here is giving you guys the training and the tools necessary so you can go out and live your biggest life, have your biggest business, and do the greatest good in the community. And our purpose is to be the place where entrepreneurs thrive. If you don't know what an entrepreneur is, then you need to come sit down with me, or I'll give you about 5 books that can tell you what that is. I knew what that was. I think that was one of my first words when I was like 2. I have a video where I said I want to be an entrepreneur. Little did I know what I was stepping into when I got my real estate license. Bucket fills. Anybody have a bucket fill in the room? Any bucket fills? Y'all are quiet today. No bucket fills? Okay, thank you, Rhonda. I was like, somebody break the ice, please.
And I wouldn't be able to, go online and put my transactions in if it hadn't been for Kim.
That's very important.
Give me lots of her time and patience.
Thank you, Kim.
Come on.
What else we got? No other bucket fills. Well, I'm going to bucket fill y'all for being here today. Thank you guys for being here. I want to bucket fill Ethio for her patience with this move and being gracious. And I didn't realize what she walked into, but she was very gracious. And so thank you for your graciousness, and we'll get it fixed. Yeah.
Bucket Fill, Karen and the coaches, Mike and Amandalyn for their coaching program. I've recently obviously joined with her, and they are just phenomenal with all the coaching that they do and just being there for us. And so thank you. You guys are doing a wonderful job.
Ditto. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? All right, moving on. What's happening? Upcoming events coming up. We've got coffee and conversations the Wednesday after Burlington team meeting. So tomorrow from 10 to 10:30, come see Union Home and have some coffee and get to know more about the market. Daniel's got his weekly training workshop Wednesdays in the training room here at 2 o'clock. So tomorrow, 1 o'clock tomorrow, not 2 o'clock. So if you come at 2 o'clock, you'll catch the very end. So if you have questions about command, if you have questions about tech, if you have questions about anything having to do with technology, 1 o'clock tomorrow. Yes. 1 finger, not 2. Yes. Just make sure you use the right finger. 1 finger. Okay. 1 finger. Cornhole nights will be Thursday, right, Mike? In here, we should have the room reset so you guys can come back in here and throw bags and hang out with Mike. There's nothing better than hanging out with Mike. So come hang out with Mike. Carrie might disagree, but price it right. Come on down to the training center Tuesday, April 9th, which is next Tuesday from 9 to 11. Cindy's not here. I saw her this morning, but she will help you with your market analysis. She will help you do a comparative market analysis. If you have questions about that, if you've never done one before, if you have an agent that needs to freshen up those skills, especially in this market where the inventory is changing and the prices are a little different, that's a great time to. There she is. Great timing. We're talking about your class. So yeah, way to be on time. She'll be on time for her class. So don't worry. If you come at 9, she'll be here. But it's very, very important right now to price properties properly, right? It's not like the market was where you could pretty much just throw a number out there and it would sell. We're not in that market anymore, unfortunately. PB&J with Jason Scott, Provisional Brokers. That is the second and fourth Tuesday of the month from 2 to 3. So today, next week. Sorry, I don't know what day it is. Next week, and then the fourth Tuesday from 2 to 3. Career night is Tuesday, April 9th. So that's next Tuesday. If you know anybody looking to get their license in real estate, we offer K-Score, which is completely free. So invite your friends, invite your family, anybody you know, get them in your downline, and they can get their license for free. We just require them to come to career night so they can learn a little bit more about Keller Williams. We don't require that they join Keller Williams. We just require that they come to career night. And again, it's a great opportunity. I wish we had that when I got my license because I spent, $500 or $600 that wasn't necessary now. Value 2, I don't know how many of you guys have taken this. I know Jim went and sat through it. You sat through it. Cindy did. I would 1,000% recommend you do that. The next one is April 10th. So we're going to try to live stream that probably at least maybe down here, but for sure probably up in the agent workroom. So you can sit and watch that. I would 1,000% take your time to do that because it's a 4-hour, I think it's 4 hours, right? 4-hour class. But trust me, it's worth your time. It's going to help you give your value to your clients, especially in this market where we've got all these lawsuits and things changing. And so many of you wondering, how am I going to get paid as a buyer's agent? And how am I going to get paid as a listing agent? And what's going on with the commission? That's a class that you go to learn the value. So you can take that value back to your clients, take that value back to your appointments, take that value back. Because if you show value, what do you get back? You get value back, right? So we want you guys to be prepared when you go into those conversations that you can understand what you're showing your value is, because somebody's going to hire you because they want to work with you, because they love you and because they trust you, right? And that's why they're going to pay you too. And if you can't show that value, that's a problem. We want to make sure that you have the tools and training necessary. That's with Jason Abrams, and Gary, of course. So highly recommend that. Pancakes and Playbooks. Next one is April 11th, which is next Thursday. Next Thursday. Yep, next Thursday from 9 to 11, come down here and have some pancakes. Playbooks, we're going over online leads. So how many of you guys need more leads? If you don't raise your hand, you got a problem. We all need more leads, right? Without leads, you don't get listings, you don't get leverage. So it's leads, listings, leverage in that order. If you don't have a lead, can't get a listing, you can't get any business, you'll never close anything. So come and let's talk a little bit about online leads and what we can do to help you guys in that area and how we can help you get more leads. Okay. Mike and Carrie are supposed to teach that, but right now it's just Mike. But knowing Carrie, she'll show up too. Grow your profit share with the McKissicks, Wednesday, April 24th at 1 p.m. If you want to learn more about profit share, there's nobody better than the McKissicks. Press and Linda and Jim have over $1 million in profit share. How many of you guys would like half of that in profit share, a fourth of that in profit share? Yeah, all of us would. And that's a great opportunity that we all have that, I'll be honest with you, a lot of us don't take advantage of, right? You can refer an agent in New York. You can refer an agent in China, right? It doesn't matter where they're at. If you have a friend that wants to get the real estate license or is already in the business and you can convince them to come to Keller Williams, you get paid off of their profit share. It's a great opportunity that we have within our company that most of us don't take advantage of. So highly recommend their class. Great opportunity. We are doing one in April with Union Home. Okay, so there's a mixer, Union Home Mortgage. I don't think Julie's here. The third Thursday of this month, which would be I don't know what day that is. What is third Thursday is the 23rd? Yes. 18th. All right, so 18th, we'll get some information out to you guys, but they're going to do an agent mixer, and then Movement Mortgage is doing it in May. So the third Thursday of each month, there'll be an agent mixer. Watch for more information to come on that. Wind Down Wednesday game night, come from 4:30 to 6, and that's the last Wednesday of the month, and play some games and have some fun and hang out. We want to give you guys opportunity just to hang out and be friends, because just because we work on transactions, we don't have to be enemies. Sometimes we are, but let's be friends too. Yeah, but birthdays, right? Nothing wrong with birthdays. All right, 6 Personal Perspectives. Karen is in the room. We appreciate her for doing this. This is moving from E to P, so May 14th from 9 to 10 right here. Highly recommend you come hear that. Karen does a great job in teaching that. She's not boring, I promise. She's much more entertaining than I am. So come hear from her. And again, that's another opportunity for you to apply stuff to your business, because those 6 Personal Perspectives are something that we should be doing every day in every conversation that we have. Entrepreneurial to purposeful. See, sometimes I listen. Yes, so moving from entrepreneurial to purposeful. And many more things coming soon. So watch for more events to come. We're working on some stuff as well. We'll get that out to you guys as soon as we have it available. If you're interested in getting your CE done, you could save 30% by using the code RENEW30 at the CE shop. We have a partnership with them to save you guys money on your continuing education. If you haven't taken it yet, again, Jason will probably talk about that more soon, as we're into April. So we're getting closer and closer to that renewal time. So make sure you get your CE done. We want to thank our sponsor today, Homes.com. I'm gonna give them a few minutes. We just talked about online leads. So what a great opportunity to talk more about online leads. Yeah.
So hello, my name is
Is
Charlotte.
the fastest growing
Several of
residential
you
search.
just being around in the office. I'm one of the triad reps. This is the other triad rep. This is Wayne Hall. We do plan to stick around a little bit afterwards in the employee lounge. I forgot what you said you called it, but you know, that cool place with all the couches. So after your meeting, if you have questions that we can answer or would like to continue the discussion, I know you guys have a meeting coming up. So I just wanted to share a quick video and then my colleague Wayne's going to speak. So if you don't.
Site in the industry that home buyers and agents love. For years, people have been looking for a better way to buy and sell homes, and agents have fought to strengthen their presence on listings and protect their commissions. That's why there is no place like Homes.com. Millions of consumers are actively searching on Homes.com. Consumer traffic has skyrocketed, growing 567% year over year, generating millions of new leads to agents. Homes.com provides a collaborative platform where homebuyers can create and save custom searches that match their criteria. A redefined home search gives homebuyers the accurate, reliable insights they need to make the decision on their next home. With detailed insights on neighborhoods, schools, and home values, homebuyers can easily access exactly what they need to know. Finding the right agent has never been easier for homebuyers. With our comprehensive agent directory, agents can showcase their sales history, awards, designations, and reviews, empowering consumers to find the right expert to guide them to the home of their dreams. The all-new Homes Pro Agent Dashboard tracks leads, monitors client activity, and simplifies collaboration with homebuyers. In fact, over 1 million agents have already discovered the power of Homes.com to streamline their business and build their brand. Homes.com was designed with agent success in mind with our promise: your listing, your lead. Unlike other websites, Homes.com doesn't sell or share leads, allow other agents to represent your listings, and will never force agents to give up a portion of their commission, ever. Homes.com empowers agents to brand and grow their business unlike any other residential website while delivering an exceptional experience for homebuyers. Homes.com, we've done your homework.
I'm just curious, how many of you guys went to Vegas? So good amount of you. We were there at the Keller Williams reunion. I know that I heard it was a little bit crazy trying to get to some people to talk to the booth. So like I said, we're going to be available afterwards. And what a wonderful introduction of who wouldn't want more leads. We're truly a agent-friendly portal, and we've created something that the consumer is enjoying to use as well. Lots of information that somebody would want to know about purchasing a home because it's a big purchase, and also a user-friendly platform for both the agent and the consumer. All right. Technology. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Wayne. He's going to speak just a little bit. Did you want the?
I don't think I need the mic. I have a pretty loud voice.
He's loud. He's louder than me.
Let me know if you need me to. We good? Okay. So I'm going to be a little more detailed than the video, but still very quick to point out the highlights, and y'all can come join us at the lounge area or whatever to talk more. So while that plays well, so I didn't see the show of hands as I was getting this. How many people were in Vegas? A lot.
Good, quick.
Just to show me different levels of understanding where we're coming from. I don't know how many people have also heard of CoStar, our parent company. CoStar has been in the business 40 years. Never taken a referral fee, never taken a commission, never will. We're uniquely qualified to do what we're doing. We'll have to just talk, that's fine. See what happens here.
He'll click through for you.
Oh, okay.
For some reason,
Okay,
it's
perfect.
not working.
So you may recognize some of these other brands here. LoopNet and CoStar are some of the more popular brands. Apartments.com is where Charlotte and I spend a lot of our time dealing with the multifamily stuff. Big takeaway from all that when we get that back up there is it's not our first rodeo. Nobody understands these listing portals like we do and how to make them successful. It's all about, you'll hear me say, if you come up here to do the full pitch with me, user experience, user experience, user experience. The better the user experience, the more often they come back. It feeds the beast. It's more income for you. It's more income for us. So again, that's just some of the portals. And so we've come out with your listing, your lead. The first in the country, side note, worldwide, everybody's already doing it this way. So we are unique in America. It's not unique to the world. You're listing your lead where they stay with you throughout the whole process.
The
Uh,
model
we-
works. The model works. It's, companies that practice this model are profitable. Some of our competitors are not practicing your listing, your lead, and they're actually losing money.
So as good as we are at the listing sites, we still got a lot of feedback. We did hundreds of focus groups, as you can see a picture up there. Buyers, sellers, consumers, what do you like about the current way things are done? What do you hate about it? And that's kind of how we got the process going. So we bought homes.com. I don't know if some of y'all may have heard of homes.com years ago. We've had it for about 2 years now. Basically, it was the best URL, quite frankly, just like apartments.com. And we've been so successful there. So we bought homes.com strictly for the URL and then totally rebuilt the site. If I only showed you, I remember the good old days when you would have your sign in the yard and then you may have a buyer's agent get involved, but it's just pretty much going to be the two of you guys. Well, Zillow and some of the other guys changed all that. And it's basically like they're putting a Zillow sign in their front yard. They click the contact agent button on the other portals. It ends up sending that lead off to 10 of your competitors trying to hijack your lead. So that's one of the things that didn't work when we heard all that, a lot from all the focus groups. If I only showed you one slide, this will be the most important one. On the left is how we, my left is how we show you, where it's got you can go to the next slide. It zooms in a little bit, I think. Maybe not. The left shows you where it takes it to you versus sending you to, there you go. Instead of sending you to a portal where it's going to try to, again, 10 of your competitors are going to have the chance to take your lead away from you. Once they clicked on you, you stay with them. That's on the buyer side and on the listing side. Okay. So we also have no pop-up ads like you saw at the top. They were really for the vacuum cleaners now. Again, user experience is all about people coming back again and again. We don't hit them with any pop-up ads. That's why they come back again and again. Not our first rodeo again. You can see why sellers would like it because they've hired you guys. You guys are the experts on their house. They trust you or you to be the person. They don't want 10 people who don't know anything about the house trying to sell their property for them. Same thing with the buyers. The next slide. Buyers are the same way. They want to deal with the people that know that area, know the school system, know the neighborhoods and all that kind of stuff. So they want the expert, not people who don't have a clue about it. That's kind of the look we came up with. We'll call it win big and win little, but basically the little orange tabs mean that they're a paid member. Okay. And if y'all come talk to us, we'll show you more details on that. You can skip that one. You can go on through. Yeah. Go on. Okay, now it's pulling the old slides.
Okay.
Going down one.
We will make
Go down
it
to the
up
next two
for
more.
200 slides.
No.
We promise.
2 more.
Yeah.
Okay, so just being the experts that we are at SEO, SEM, and knowing how to make these listing sites work, we're at 149 million unique visitors a month.
Up.
Hmm.
As of Monday, we just closed out. March. We are now 151.
So we haven't had time to update the slides yet, but
Yeah.
151 million, that's unique monthly visitors. So just to show you what that means, if you go to the next slide, what's happening with that. So there's how we're doing versus our competition year over year. Basically, they're all flat or down. We're up 567%. Again, yeah, we're great, but it's the user experience. We're doing so much better user experience. The people are coming back again and again and using our portal. You go to the next one. It shows you our traffic versus Realtor. The next one is our traffic versus Redfin. Again, not even close. And then here's my favorite slide. This is the crash course that we're on. It's just a matter of time before Zillow is going to be. If I had to guess, I would say next year at this time, it's probably going to happen sooner than that based on what we're seeing so far. But that's where we're heading on the traffic. Right now we're 2, but you can see they're going one way, we're going the other. So now we're starting to put money into it. We basically have built it so far for 2 years, just doing what we do best. But now we're actually putting money into it. It's the largest marketing campaign in the history of residential real estate. So what we're going to deliver on marketing is $1 billion we're investing, 80 billion impressions, which is hard to wrap your arms around sometimes, but then 90% of all U.S. households are going to see it. That to me is the most resonating thing that people can remember. So our question,
I've seen their commercial. Yeah.
there's a bunch of there.
Super Bowl, I know.
That was the kickoff.
Yeah.
We launched
Yeah, we're
we
impressive with
launched
that.
in the Super Bowl, and so that's where we're headed. So we're the marketing campaign is just to get more eyeballs to us, ultimately get more eyeballs to you guys.
Yep.
And the recap is just you're going to take back your listing and reclaim your brand with us. We go to the next one. Building a better future, and then the last one. Let's go sell some homes. That's the short version, but I tried to stick in the time restraints that we had. And we can share all the detailed version up there that goes more into the actual going on the site and seeing the touch and feel of how the power of the site. So
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll be upstairs.
Anybody have any
whenever you
questions
guys
for
are
them?
done.
No? Okay.
We're happy to dig a little deep. We know you guys have a meeting that you need to get to, but no, yeah, we'll be up there to answer any questions, continue the discussion. And then two, we were at Vegas, and we are a group sponsor, so group vendor.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And she could pull if I like just
Yeah, yeah,
here
sure.
So we know for follow-up. and
You're
things.
good. Again, another option, right? There's various ways you can run your business. A lot of people run an online lead model. There's nothing wrong with that. That's an option, right? For sure. So another one of our sponsors is Heritage Title. How many of you guys have heard of Heritage Title or know Carla? If you don't know Carla, Carla knows you. I guarantee you that. So we're grateful for them and what they do. Heritage Title is a great opportunity that we have in our market center to be able to give back to you guys as agents. You know, when you use Heritage Title, we share that money back to you to do things like our awards banquet, our Christmas potluck, to sponsor agents. Chloe who danced in Little Pink, Cindy who danced in Little Pink. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to use our title company. And again, that's Investors Title. It's just named Heritage Title. But I'll give Carla a minute to speak. I just want to spend a quick minute just to, again, put that out there. Yep.
Hey guys, good morning. It's great to be here and I appreciate you guys welcoming me. I wanted to just talk to you guys a little bit about a very important topic and I passed out a brochure and this brochure, just so you guys are aware, is really geared more towards your closing attorney, but these are things that might come up that your buyer might ask you about. So I wanted to make sure that you guys had the same resources that they have so that when those questions come to you, you're able to either answer them or direct them to their closing attorney. So one of the things that I like to always go through with you guys is how you can help prevent the wire fraud and how you can work together with that closing attorney. So your closing attorney is going to have a wire confirmation checklist to make sure that they are sending and requesting wire instructions and they're going through encrypted email. They're making sure the email address is actually correct. Sometimes we still use a landline fax. Sometimes they overnight them and sometimes they hand deliver them. I love hand delivery, but we all know in this day and age, that's not always possible. So the other thing that the attorneys are doing on every single wire is that they are confirming those wire instructions verbally with a known party directly associated with the transaction. So if it's the buyer who's wiring in money and it's coming from a brokerage account, they're going to talk to a representative at that office. If it's coming from their bank, they're going to speak to someone at the bank at that branch. And hopefully they're going to be able to verify their identity by checking online on, for their website to see a picture. The other thing is that they, really they will not do a closing if they can't verify those wiring instructions. And that's something that you want to make sure that they're doing. There's some really big, important red flags that I want you guys to be aware of as more and more people from all over the world move into North Carolina and especially in this area. I want you guys to be aware of a big red flag is international wires. Sometimes they're fine, but it's a big concern. And we always want to just make sure you ask some extra questions around those when you're working with your client, especially if you know that they're going to be sending the wire from overseas. Also, another big red flag, a change to the wiring instructions, especially at the last minute. Usually doesn't happen. So it should sort of raise your tentacles up as an agent who's, been around the block a few times. So make sure that if things have to change, that they're re-verified and verified again. The other thing I want you guys to be very careful of, and you tell your clients to be very careful of, is actually making sure that the website, the email address actually is coming from not a faked, mocked up version of what the website is. We all see those emails, we get those emails, but the same thing can happen with someone's email address, that instead of it being, wellsfargo.com, it's WFG367910.com and it's not a real email address. So very important that you're looking at that because they can slip one under the radar really quickly. Sometimes if there's a different geographic location than the intended recipient lives in, so, they might have a brokerage account in New York, but be moving to California, that can be okay, but you just want to make sure that you're verifying those things. Making sure that the names are the same. If it's an individual recipient, but it's going to a corporate account, you want to make sure that those individuals are the people who are licensed or are allowed to get money for that corporate account and vice versa. And then, unfortunately, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but sometimes broken English is a warning sign because we all know about these call centers overseas and the mass amount of fraud that is going through some of these call centers. So you want to be on the lookout for that. And then also unreasonable requirements or demands, basically just like a lot of pressure to get a wire sent in a really short amount of time, and not to go through and validate the authenticity of the wire. Next slide. And again, a lot of these are just reiterating things that we've already talked about, and there's specific requirements for incoming wires and outgoing wires, and they're also inside the flyer here, but take a quick look at those. On the next slide, just one more quick thing. On the back side, there's some really great myths and myth busters, and I just like to go through those. One is that an email that's encrypted is encrypted forever. So first of all, how many people in this room are using encrypted email? No, Jason. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know about this, but I think that's going to be a requirement coming up pretty soon because the Privacy Act is going to start applying to realtors. It already applies to your attorneys and your title companies. So super important that you're keeping your client's personal information private and that you're using encrypted email. If you're not, please start using it as soon as possible. But even using it, you need to make sure that the email addresses are correct because if you encrypt it, but the person behind you doesn't encrypt it and like a CD gets forwarded multiple times, it won't be encrypted that second time if somebody doesn't specifically do it. Again, this is something I've spoken to before, and I just want to mention it again. Your E&O insurance will not cover you for cyber fraud. And if you weren't aware of that, you want to make sure that you're talking to your insurance broker about that because you need separate insurance for cyber fraud. Okay, cool. The Market Center has it. Okay, good. All right. Just making sure, because I know there's been some issues. So we would just like to point out those things. So if you guys have any questions about this, please see me afterwards. It's a very important, yes. I think that it's very important that you relate to them about the verification process that surrounds wires because we've gone through this like first wires were the safest thing, then they weren't the safest thing, and then checks weren't the same, and so it keeps like, it seems like it changes every other year. So I think it's important for us to be the one that's educating them on these topics and that just so that there aren't any surprises and they have plenty of time to prepare if they do want to send a wire. Mhm. Good. Yeah. If it, yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yes. So as part of your training, I mean, as your review, you should be doing it. So yes. I think that, yeah, so I think that's super helpful. I know the closing attorneys are doing that. If you guys are doing that, I think any reinforcement of this, you can't say it enough. I can't say it enough. So.
CYA. Yep. More is better always.
Where you guys are showing your value
Yes.
to your client, just talking to them about wire frauds. And if you're talking about it and the other isn't talking about it, you're going to look like the smarter person in the room. So, but please use me as a resource if you have any questions about this, or if you're not sure your attorney is following these steps, please give me a call. We can definitely chat about it. So great.
And Caroline and Mary Lauren are always available to you guys as a resource. And again, I highly recommend the simplest thing to do is if you have a contract, CC them on that contract. They can find that prior title and save your client money. That's again another opportunity for you to provide value, right? It's very simple. Yep. You put a buyer under contract, just CC them on the email. They'll look for the prior policy for you. And again, it just saves your client money. It gives you value that other firms are not providing, right? Yeah. Doesn't take time. All right, moving along. America's Preferred, we'll skip that. PC program, Karen, Mike, Amanda Lynn, and Dog. Come on up. Give you all a minute.
So we knew that would get your attention. Roll Tide.
Amen. I'm with you, Jim. Let's go state.
Yeah, y'all are on the other side though. See, y'all still have to win before you get to the Tide. Yeah. Yeah, yes. So just a couple of things. Congratulations to Kim Baber for she was our contest winner of the week last week. Kim entered over 500 contacts into Command and is working with Jonathan on getting those all into Smart Plans. So if those of you that don't know or would like to know more, Jonathan Montrose is available to help you set up Smart Plans, and he will actually set the Smart Plan up for you. And then all you have to do is just log in to Command every day and do what the tasks tell you to do.
I'm on it.
Yes. And seeing I mean, I think you guys can attest that, I mean, business is just organically coming in now from those touches and also doing the activities as well. He's very affordable as well. So any of you want more information on that, you can reach out to Jonathan directly. You can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Chris Young. Any of those three. Let's see, what else? Oh, well, Cindy, she's left. Reminder, Tuesday, next Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock here. Cindy will be doing Price It Right. Again, this is CMAs. Some of the other things that Cindy talks about, does a really good job with, is absorption rates, explaining absorption rates. If you don't know what absorption rate means, she is going to cover all of that. You know, when we see these things that says amount of inventory, how many months of inventory do we have, she's going to be she'll explain a lot of that. So encourage you to attend that. Also want to let you know about something special next Tuesday as well. 1 o'clock here in the training room, Flamingo Photography will be here, and they will be doing complimentary about me. I know it's a surprise. Even you didn't know about it.
But it tells me anything. Sorry, not in your. No,
Yeah, it's not in your lane.
That's why this room looks like it.
So they will be here they are staying. We're opening this up for everybody. They're coming and doing an event at noon for the productivity coaching program, but then they are staying, and so at 1 o'clock they'll be here. They are doing complimentary like 1 or 2 minute about me videos, and they will edit them and provide them for you. So if you want to do that, you know, hey, I'm Karen Ward. I'm the greatest coach in the world. If you want to coach and if you need a coach and you want to grow your business, then you should contact me. Here's how you contact me. You know, so then it, yeah, Roll Tide. So they will be doing that. Anyone, you're welcome to come, and then they will provide that for you. Joel, what do you have to say?
Get your teeth straightened, your hair whitened, whatever. It'll be fun. Whoever wants to learn a TikTok dance beforehand, I'm looking at y'all. I don't know how to dance or TikTok. I need help for my video. But yeah, it'll come out. It'll be fun. It'll be something awesome to post for social media. Comprehensive coaching in Flamingo. So.
Yeah, I don't dance either, so we're good with that. So insights and conversation every morning, 8:30. Love to have everyone there. We have had, this week we actually talked, or last week we started talking about for sub owner and expireds and how to handle them, how to talk to them. So anybody's welcome to join us on that. I run that every morning, 8:30 to 9. Love to have some suggestions. Marla is there almost every day. We have several regulars, so it's good to have those that are regular, but we love fresh faces as well. Welcome, everyone.
Of all,
Yeah, that's for everybody.
yes.
Awesome. Thank y'all. Again, those are just opportunities to provide value to you guys. Great things to be able to doing, right? I love that straighten your teeth and whiten your hair. Mine's getting white, but you know. But again, opportunities for you guys to come bring value. If you don't have a headshot done, or you're like some of these agents and it was, 40 years ago, come update your headshot, show up, get it redone. Alice, and I'm just kidding. Yeah, and video. Sorry, video. So it's not headshot, it's video. Okay, sorry. My fault. All right, Marcus Center Tech Trainer. Since Daniel now has like 15 things to add to his calendar, we're gonna pass it on. Did you have anything? You're outsourcing yourself? Okay. What do you mean?
Hey, Keller Williams, Daniel the Tech Trainer
What's
here
that?
today to talk about a very exciting new feature on your website, which is the home comparison. To show that, we're just going to kind of jump right in. You can either do a search, or in this particular case, I'm going to run through my featured properties. So I'm just going to grab the first one here. And as I'm looking at this property, there's a new little button that shows up beside property details that says compare this home. So if I click that, and you've probably used a similar button on, I don't know, Best Buy or Walmart or what have you to compare products. Now you can very easily compare homes as well. So once you're in this home comparison page, there's a little drop-down menu over here that if you have collections, it can pull from that. But there's also an add a KW listing button as well. So if you're searching like I do, or your clients search like I do, where you have a couple different places open at the same time that you're manually comparing, you can just copy that, put it in there. Let's grab this next one here. Oh, lost tabs. Click this add another place. Make sure I was doing the right one. Let's see, we're up to 3, and you can do a whole 4 of them at one given time. So let's grab this one. All right, so I have these 4 homes side by side, so I can compare pros and cons of each one. And then if I just click the see all details on here, as you see, it's showing literally all the details. So your clients can very easily compare the different houses that they're interested in looking at. You personally could also use this as a great tool in order to show why you're doing a comp the way that you are. You can compare the different properties that are similar around the house. And also another feature that I didn't show you on this, your clients do have to sign in order to use this feature. So it's just one more encouragement for them to create that account, to give you their information, and for you to be able to better serve and interact with them. So get out there, go play with this tool a little bit so you can get used to it, show it to your clients, and as always, I hope you take care.
That's great. Again, those are tools that you guys have at your disposal that probably most of us are not using, right? So I highly recommend get into Command. It's a great opportunity for you. You pay for that every month, right? We don't pay a whole lot for our tech, but the things that it can do are amazing. And that's just a very small snippet of lots of many other things that you can be using Command for. I don't know about you, but that's a very simple and easy way to do a CMA. So, all right, we're going to pass it on to the man, the myth, and the legend.
Great video for you to share online that you your own website does that if they were to sign up with you. And also as part of the proposed agreements, that could be a place that the commission could be put on your own personal site. Not in the MLS, but on a personal site, it could be put. So, hey, what is April? Fair Housing Month, my favorite month, right? So this is, I pulled this from what some of you actually seen this that have been through training with me at the Baycar office. This is one of their ad programs that they did a few years ago. It's still there. You can order these t-shirts if you want one. They come in gray, black, and blue. And then they've got these logos. These logos, this logo, all of that's on that Photify app. Remember we talked about that a couple of weeks ago? You can actually download those and pre-fill it with your information, and that's a marketing tool for you. Do it. There's 4 or 5 different ones, or even in Spanish and other languages. So you could do those the next 3 to 4 weeks in April. You could share those different logos each week. Just saying, that's what I might do. So where did it all go wrong with fair housing, and where did it go right? I'll tell you, NAR, and you see there, we do have a little bit of a checkered past. When we first started, unless you were a white male, you couldn't be a realtor. There were no women. There were no minorities. It was only white men. And then eventually we let women in later on. And it wasn't until the 70s when women, and this just baffles me, that you had to ask your father or your husband if you could get a credit card. And that's in my lifetime. Or a loan. Like, they had to approve that. So people don't think like that. So fair housing, redlining, we talk about it early in school. Have you ever heard the phrase being from the wrong side of the tracks? Well, the wrong side of the tracks was the red line that mortgage folks were creating, that in this part of the county, it's red because it's more risky and we don't want to rent to them or lease to them or mortgage to them. Over here is less risky. We definitely want to do it over here. So that's where redlining came in. And originally with the Fair Housing Act, did you know we didn't support it? NAR said it's bad for business. It's not good for the America. It's not good for clients. It's not good for agents. Now, we eventually got it right and said, of course, everyone should be able to have the right to fair housing without discrimination. But just know we've gotten to this place. It's been a journey. It's much like our own history in America. We didn't just start this way with making you aware of fair housing or talking about fair housing. So go to the next one, Daniel. So I'm going to really throw back. So when you put the fair back into fair housing, where does it start? In class, it was called fresh corn, right? Do y'all remember what fresh corn was? And pollen is like all over here. So I can't, everything's in a barrel. So you're going to have to help me. So I heard somebody, familial status. Familial status means children under the age of 18 in the home. Didn't mean single moms, didn't mean, it's just children under 18, familial status. Okay, great. That's the F. Religion, perfect. Any religion you want to practice, fine with us. You can have a house. Not quite. Nope. Nope. Sex, male, female there, but also, and that's a little side note, right now under the HUD standards is sexual orientation and gender identity. So we say there's 7, there's really 9. Okay, so H, and it's no longer an H, it's now a D, disability. Did you know that 1 out of every 4 Americans has a disability of some type? And often they're not visible, right? Do you know that that was not changed until the 80s? And we added that one. So what's the C? Red, white, blue, green, purple. Color. R, you got 1 R. Race. And last but certainly not least, is there an N? National origin. So that's your 9. And that's what we have to look out for in housing and what we do every day. So bringing it to the next one. So where does it go right? And I say that it goes right every single day with you. And it's how your practices are as an agent. It's how the office's practices are. It's what you do day in and day out that then reflects back on us, that then reflects back on our industry. And also where it goes wrong is also there. I'll say usually the best place to get it right is on a form, because it's just asking a yes or no, black or white question, right? Right. There's no difference to this answer. It's your name, it's your address, it's your whatever else. Where do we get it wrong? when the human gets involved. When we look at the name and say, ooh, Scott, I'm not renting to that Scott. You know, I know a Scott. You don't want to rent to Scott's. Or when we read into it, that's when we start messing up, usually. All right, next. So there's some tools out there. Fair Housing Academy is something North Carolina did. And I'm going to kind of go in a little bit deeper on that next slide. It's a deep dive into the Newsday study out of Long Island. And if you've not seen that, it's worth every fiber in you 47 minutes of your life to watch that. That class, I'm actually teaching it Monday, the 22nd from 9 to 1. So yeah, we'll have breakfast and lunch, 9 to 1, be a working class. After you finish, you will graduate, you'll get a certificate, and I can order you a t-shirt. So I will be teaching Fair Housing Academy in here, 9 to 1 on Monday, the 22nd. That will also be open to anyone in Alamance County. That's not just us. I'm a certified state instructor for that, so it's going to be on the state website, and we'll invite whomever to come that day. So bias override is another one. We all have biases, right? And like I have one, and I didn't even know I had one. I have a bias to disabilities. And I honestly think it's because my mother was born without a hip socket, and I watched her entire life have, 9 surgeries, 3 replacements. I mean, as a kid, I grew up with that, and I've seen how she was treated and how she felt in herself. And that was what I was around. That's what I was brought up around. That's what I was used to. So I have a little bit of a bias there that I've had worked really hard to overcome. And that's a class that will actually take you into discovering what your biases are. And it's a good one. So we're going to offer that later on. We didn't want to do Fair Housing Academy and bias override in the same month. We're going to add that later on. At Home with Diversity is a certification you can get. Like I'm at AHWD. So that's from the International Association. It's a course you can take just like ABR buyers rep, accredited buyers rep, or GRI or EPRA or any of those accreditations. At Home with Diversity is also one that you can get. That's the marketing piece for it. And once you go through the course, you're forever that, and you can always use your self-marketing in that marketing package that they offer from that. So next up, I was going to dive a little bit into Fair Housing Academy. And I told you, anybody Dateline people or like you like documentary kind of things, that's me. I'm like, ooh, riveting. Fair Housing Academy is a deep dive into what Newsday did in Long Island. What people don't realize is what happened in Long Island is the redlining was so severe that it's still alive and well. And Newsday is a newspaper for Long Island. So they went undercover for like 3 years and did hundreds of secret shops of agents. They did like 20 firms. Like it's crazy, the stuff you see on this. And that Fair Housing Academy is a dive into that, into how we can make a difference with what it is. So it's a video that that's plays with this. Wait, before it starts, look at that first line. I love that. What does that say? I have to say it without saying it, you know? Oh, makes my skin crawl. All right, video. When you see the percentiles, that's the red line separating them. $500,000, 30 minutes to Northport. Both people asked for the very same thing.
means I can't go out to see anything. I won't do it. You can try another person, but I don't have the time. What is your availability? When can you start looking at houses?
And they keep asking for the very same thing in their feeds or their showings, but they're getting totally different houses.
But you don't want to go there. It's a mixed neighborhood. It's mini United Nations.
Bayshore has 2 school districts, Brentwood and Bayshore. You don't want to have Brentwood School District. You want to have Bayshore School District. I can't say anything, but I encourage you. I want you to go there at 10 o'clock at night with your wife to buy diapers. Go to that 7-Eleven. They didn't buy there.
No, that's great.
I have to say it without saying it. You know, you have the knowledge of the areas.
Yes.
I don't want to use the word steer, but I try to I'll use another word. I educate in the areas. You know.
We're going to educate you into the right part of town.
If I wasn't on this project, I would have never known how well she was treated.
I had no inkling that any of this was going on.
There's no way I would know this was taking place if I was in Kelvin's shoes.
So again, join us on the 22nd, 9 to 1 for breakfast and lunch. And we'd love to get you to be a graduate of the Fair Housing Academy. The snippets and videos and testing, I will tell you that since this, 3 agents lost their license completely that were in this 86 trial. Like 17 had to pay $2,000 fines. There's been $5 million put into fair housing education strictly on Long Island. So it's been quite interesting what's happened from it, and we can learn a lot from that. Yeah. So the next one you see every single Friday on the Week at a Glance, or I call it the Week at a Glance. And it's Fairhaven. And Fairhaven is a fictitious town that's created by NAR for you as an agent to log in and go to. Your goal is to sell 4 houses in Fairhaven within 30, 40 minutes. And it gives you different scenarios where you're being discriminated against or you're being discriminatory. And it asks you, hey, like this is a scenario, like I'll give you one. The very first one, clients are they've negotiated a mansion on the lake. You're on the buying side. Everything's negotiated, hammered out, price, payments, everything's fine. And then you write up the contract and send it over, and the seller says, I'm not going to sell it to that person's name. And it stops and says, okay, agent, what are you going to do? And you, the agent, decides what to do next. So however you answer in Fairhaven is the cookie trail you go down into. So there's always a best answer. Even if you don't answer the best, it's going to like educate you on the right way to answer. But often another one, it actually flips over and the agent does it to you. And you're the one experiencing how it feels to be that way. So go ahead. It's a quickie. NAR.realtor. Is there volume? There should be volume to that.
Fair housing learning experience from NAR. Fairhaven simulated scenarios will challenge you to confront bias in yourself, in clients, and in other real estate professionals. After your trip to Fairhaven, you'll see the world differently, and you'll be better prepared to tackle discrimination in real estate. Fairhaven, the next stop on your fair housing journey.
So that's at nar.realtor, and you can find it. It's going to come up. So, and again, it flips the scenarios. There's a rental situation. There's a disability, like if they're buying a condo and there's no ramp that goes into the facility. It's only steps. So I can't buy your condo because I can't go into the building. So what are ways you can make a difference? And this is on you. Like, what are ways you think you can make a difference in fair housing? Aware is a great one.
Just being mindful.
mindful, consistent, have a procedure. Like the easiest thing to get you in trouble is for you to all of a sudden not do the same thing with someone that you've done with everybody else, right? Like if you're taking calls and you do a buyer intake sheet and like the lady said, hey, when I'd like to go out and see houses, and she's like, I'm not going to show you without you being pre-approved. However, the next person said, hey, she asked her, can you go out this afternoon? She wasn't pre-approved. Why did the other one have to be pre-approved before they went, right? So don't set yourself up for any scenario that could be like, wait, why was I treated differently? So all those are ways you can be consistent, have a process, have procedures. We talk systems a lot at KW. So next. So make sure you have a ton of resources that are right here at your fingertips. Don't go it alone. There's agents in your office that are like already with experience. There's your office itself. We teach fair housing, or we should have until before I got here, at least in April every year. So team leader Bick, your association, there are plenty of resources at ncrealtors.org. They literally have an entire page with links and marketing and ads and classes and everything, videos that you can share this month to raise awareness for fair housing. Same thing at NAR. There's designations, classes, videos, and plenty more that you just type in the word fair housing and it's going to give a whole page dedicated to fair housing at both those resources. Yeah. Hey, so now what? Volunteer to be a fair housing champion. Join a committee or an organization like At Home with Diversity or NAREB, NAREB, Alliance, any of those, Women's Council. Get a designation like At Home with Diversity. Make sure you watch the videos. Play with Fairhaven. If you've got a boring afternoon and it's raining, you ain't got nothing to do, spend 40 minutes trying to sell 4 houses. Take the class and bias override when we come up with it later in the year. If you want to check your biases, Harvard has quick rapid fire testing. Like if you just go to Harvard bias test, it's gonna, like there's 19 of them. And it will just ask you rapid fire questions. And then at the end, it'll say, you have a bias to this. So if you ever wondered if you have a bias, take those rapid fire questions, you'll be surprised. Ask questions, be inquisitive. Make sure if you don't have a system to create one so that you aren't treating clients differently. And then there is a fair housing pledge, and actually that's getting to roll out with our new MLS as part of the merger. To be a member, you have to have signed a fair housing pledge with under the Triangle umbrella. So the last thing I say when I leave class, and the ones that have been with me in that, is protect your R. So this R, this R is no different than the video of those people in Long Island. That's not a different R. That's Marla's R, Marcy's R, Alice's R, my R. We're all the same, right? We're all under the Realtor umbrella. Protect your R. It's your super cape. It's your power to fight fair housing. And the folks that aren't doing it, let us know so we can weed those people that are wrong out of our industry and giving us a bad name for our profession. Okay? So last but certainly not least, I say protect your R. Monday, April 22nd, 9 to 1.
Now we have it on our calendar as well. Because if it's not on your calendar, it doesn't exist. So is that it? Sure. Well, thank you all for being here. And again, if you have questions, anything, yeah. Yeah, happy birthday, Kim. Yes. Yeah. You mean which system is best? Flex, Paragon? Yeah. Yeah, I would say there's not one. I would agree. Yeah. I think personally I've started using Flex, but.
So that's been extended until May 1st. You have another month to play with all three. If you've not tried the new Paragon, again, old Paragon is going away. So if you love Paragon, you're like, ooh, I'm sticking with Paragon. Paragon is not the same. Little blue house, little blue circle, white house, top corner. It is Paragon Connect. So that's how you can play with the new Paragon. It's up to user. I mean, some people like Flex. I will tell you, Flex and new Paragon are similar because it's geo based on like location and mapping and that kind of thing versus let's look it up in a 123 Main Street, pull up the sheet. So it's very much based in mapping. So, which is the wave of the future.
Question about that. Is Matrix going to catch up with the number of listings that we're seeing in Paragon versus Flex versus Matrix?
Yes. What's happening there is, I think I've said it a couple of times, if y'all were missed it or whatever and didn't know, is that when you would have originally put in the data for every single listing and you hit enter, who owned the data now? That company. Paragon owned it. Flex owned it. Matrix owned it. So now under listing manager, when you hit data entry, we own the information that shoots out to those platforms. That's why it can be consistent amongst the three. But pulling that data back in for all those years has been tough. And they say there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train coming at us. But
Hopefully.
They say within months, if not weeks, that will be fixed. Is what we're thinking.
The adventure continues. Yeah. If y'all need anything, reach out for being here. Have a great day.